Hello and welcome to a big edition of In the Box Seat as we recap Magic Millions week, and also we look ahead to the big tab gold market Friday night race meeting, which is going to be a cracker. Paul Joyce, Ella Cohen.
Hello.
We fresh, we refreshed.
We are.
Are you guys refreshed? I'm still a little bit flat.
I'm not
I
sure
reckon
I'd
I'm
use
slowly
fresh.
getting back.
Yeah, I think after Friday night, after we have a nice long
Yeah, I
weekend
think so.
off, I think we can then say the words fresh. But I think right now we're kind of just sprinting to the finish line, I think.
We are. I think we need to get back to the races, get back
Yes.
on the horse, go again.
I think so.
Pretty much anyone who had anything to do with Magic Millions week, I think you're entitled to be flatter than most. It was
a long build up.
Yep.
Things didn't work out on the day for either race, 2 and 3 year old. And it was a flat feeling after the day for sure. But what was good was just the crowd that was here and the engagement that happened. The Ninja protest, we haven't got time to discuss all that, but a lot of punters were engaged in that.
Yeah,
and I think
it's a two-part special.
That's got to be a good thing,
Actually,
right?
Gardini was recording before. There's a two-part special of this show. There's a half-an-hour protest. We'll dissect it.
Yeah, 3 episodes.
But like you said, the engagement of everyone's opinion, it's still getting spoken about a week later.
Yeah, and probably overshadows a little bit Tommy Stockdale's winning the 2-year-old, because I think that was my highlight for the day. Him sort of breaking into the scene as a big-time jockey and rode a perfect race on Unit 5 and, was definitely the best 2-year-old in the race. And might be a 2-year-old that really goes on with it. I know a few people after the race saying mightn't be the strongest 2-year-old race without Warwoven. But I think Unit 5 definitely will stand up and push onto a race like the Golden Slipper if he can.
And like you said, engagement. We had across the two meetings, Gold and Magic Millions, we had over 30,000 people at our track, which is just incredible numbers. We couldn't be more stoked with how the carnival played out. We kept saying kind of behind the scenes it was our redemption year, and redemption year went off without a hitch. So we were very, very stoked. We've got one more to go though. We can't forget about the tab gold
That's
market.
a new one. I never heard that, and I work here. Anyway, at about 120 million in turnover over the two meetings. So wagering is, after a bit of a downturn, it's back up again.
It is. It seems to be a trend that we like to see. And, I think the week before in particular, we had a lot of favourites win and popular horses win. And, I think if the protest had gone the other way, you'd have plenty of punters back again next week to unload again. But, not to be.
Just the one favourite was successful in the 10 races. Right. Two-Rake Jewel, who...
Bit of a trickier one on the Saturday.
Landed good bets to score for Paul Shaler. Obviously a good story there to win the debut. Crooksy in the ownership, and now they've got that big decision of whether they pay the 150k late entry fee for the slipper, but it was very impressive. Yeah,
very impressive. Great win, and did it at both ends. And it was a pretty hot field looking at the trials. Obviously, you're going to bump into much, much stronger 2-year-olds headed towards a slipper.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd pay the 150.
Well, speaking of...
I don't think I would.
I was gonna segue there into speaking of the 2-year-old.
Well, they've got the Jewel here worth $500,000 too if they decide to back off.
Yeah.
Speaking of the 2-year-old,
sorry.
let's move in. Speaking of the 2-year-old, we obviously had the Calcutta last week, and it was a very fitting crescendo for the winner of the Calcutta, Jared Hart. We were very lucky and fortunate enough to speak to Jared about what an incredible win that was and the story behind them buying Unit 5 on the night.
So we're with the Tab Calcutta winner, Jared Hart. Just explain to us what happened on that Thursday night prior to the Magic Millions race day itself.
Well, Mitch, we basically went there just to have a good time, and I went with a very good friend of mine, Rob, and he's a Gold Coast Turf Club member. We thought we'd just buy a few raffle tickets and hopefully score a horse that way, and that was unsuccessful. So we went to Plan B, and Plan B was to potentially buy a horse, and we did that successfully with Unit 5, and the rest is history.
So part of the Unit 5 story, there's also a bit at play with Warwoven as well. Explain what happened with the race favourite.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So at the table, and the table was table number 3, we all wanted to jump into the favourite, depending on what we could actually purchase the horse for. And waking up Saturday morning, we're all a bit depleted, knowing that the horse was a late scratching. So we know the rules, and we forfeited our money. And lucky enough, we all had a majority of us on the table had a unit in Unit 5, and once I said, mate, the rest was history. And I actually listened to your podcast, mate, on the Friday just recently, and I think it might have been Gareth. He mentioned about if you miss the start, you pretty much confetti, where this horse did miss the start, funny enough. And Thomas Stockdale was nerves of steel.
Yeah.
And, he really didn't go around a horse and stuck to the fence, and he won quite well in the end. Yeah.
He's coming back to the Calcutta next year.
I'd love to, mate. I'd love to defend the title and have another dip, mate. Absolutely.
It's such a high prize pool, and very sought. Those good horses, or those horses in the market are so sought after. It's a tough Calcutta, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I've got to give credit to the club. Geez, they ran it well. They really looked after us. As you know, mate, I'm from Melbourne, Victoria, and I've been to a lot of spring carnivals and, been to Flemington, been to Caulfield and everything else. But the club put on a really good turnout, and I think everyone there would have gone home happy. So, yep.
Outstanding. Awesome for the chat, Jared. Congratulations. And also great insight in what happens with the Calcutta and what the night's about. You've met some random people. You all joined up together to ultimately buy Unit 5, which is what the night's about. It's a great story behind what's become a great part of Magic Millions Week, the Tab Calcutta.
Absolutely, Mitch. Yeah, no, it was a pleasure, mate. And look, it's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes you do your form on these horses, and you can get one at the Calcutta or not. And you cross your fingers, and hopefully everything goes well on the day.
Well, I think the irony was that Unit 5 carried a set of colours with a cat on it. You lost one live with War Woven. You had your second live, so as cats normally have, they've normally got 9 lives, so you used a couple up, but you got there with Unit 5 in the end.
Absolutely, and great story for them too. I noticed that it was only an $80,000 purchase. So, and as you know, mate, it's a very hot item to buy a horse at the Magic Millions sale. So it's one of those good time stories, mate.
Yep, excellent. So is yours. We'll catch you next year.
Thanks again, Mitch. Look forward to it, mate. I'll have a beer with you then.
Thanks, Jared. So great story, that, and that just sort of shows the luck of the Calcutta, really.
Yeah, exactly. The luck of the draw, all right. But always a great night, and another great night this year, and looking forward to it again next year already.
And also, too, Unit 5, the first horse to win the Magic Millions with a cat's head on its colours. Good old Coco.
There you go.
And there was photos of Coco the next day. So.
I love that you brought that up. You brought that up in the show last week.
And
there you go.
It's actually it's the replica of the cat's head.
It's crazy. We talk about it here on the show, and they just win.
Coco.
It's just
I bet they had a
great.
wild night. They looked a wild crew. Friday night.
Obviously, we are celebrating the Australia Day long weekend here. Friday night under lights. It's the finale to a huge carnival, and we're going to go out with a bang. We've got plenty of entertainment lined up. We've got our saxophone man back playing some Aussie bangers. We've got a drone show, which is a new one that we haven't done before, and it'll be pretty epic if you're here on track to watch that. And we also have an Aussie rock cover band performing after the last down in the Fountain Lawn Marquee.
Excellent.
We'll have some merch giving away at the front gate, and we've got a giveaway for the first 500 punters through the door.
Yeah, a pie or a 4X.
Yes, correct.
Or a sausage roll,
depending pie, sausage roll, depending on what's your flavour. But first 500 through the gates will come to the GG's bar and redeem their free 4X can and free meat pie.
Great promotion. We better find a winner because it looked a really tough program. Big field.
It is. Tricky,
Gold Market.
Tough meeting. Tab Gold Market, highlight race of the night, 1,100 metres, 160,000. Look, I think punters are going to go fairly wide.
Yep.
There's a lot of speed on paper there. I've looked at it a few times. I keep coming back to Golden Boom at around about $5. Won it last year. His 2 runs back have been terrific. Brave on speed. I mean, he's a little bit one-dimensional. If you've got to knock him, he sort of has to press forward from these wide gates carrying big weights.
Yep.
And that sort of brought him undone just at his 2 runs back. But, he's got genuine Group 1 form. He couldn't be going much better. And I sort of look at which way else you could go, and all the others are going to need a bit of luck. Or they're going to have to get back and weave through the field late. And then you go down to the real lightweights. like a Superb, a Give Giggles, I just don't think they're in the same class. So I just keep coming back to Golden Boom at around about $5 at the moment. Obviously, see how the track's playing on the night, but track's raced so well and fairly over the last few months that I think he'll probably get every chance up on speed. And I think Ryan Maloney suits him. He sort of nurses him as long as he can under the big weight and only pushes the button when he has to. But he just hasn't had things work out at both runs back, but he's still been really, really good.
I could be wrong, but if Weight of the Stars goes to Melbourne, it does take a bit of pressure out of the race.
I think Weight of the Stars coming out is sort of expected from that barrier, and that'll just take a little bit of pepper out, which is what we want.
Drives through from 3, Golden Boom might sit outside, and that could be...
I think Maloney could get outside lead. Yep.
Which is pretty similar to how the horse won the race last year.
Exactly, yeah.
Ella?
I did Golden Boom as well. I had a look, actually. Gibbo's tips are now live on the website, so you can head to Gibbo's tips. And Gibbo's also going on Golden Boom for the Tab Gold Market as well. And he's also previewed the rest of the form. So head over to Gibbo's tips and have a look at those.
I thought King Kappa's run here in the Syndicate was very good. Just the barrier looks real tricky. But that Syndicate form held up pretty well last week. Axios finished behind him and came out and won the Snippets last week. So I think he's going okay, that horse, but he'll need a lot of luck from that draw. The other feature on the night is the Stayers Gold Coast Mares Vase, the newly created race over 2,050 metres. Sabaka's at the top of the weights, but he's sort of left alone up the top with 60 kilos. He spots his rivals sort of 4 or 5 kilos. It's very similar looking to that Miss Jolene race where the weights are sort of against him, but he's probably going as good as anything else in the race.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I'm with Zafod. I know he's come up fairly short, around 350, and they backed him straight away. But they had him down in a race in Sydney. They've decided to scratch him, come here. They've got the lovely gate. He's the most lightly raced horse in the field. He was a very strong last start winner, and to me, he's got all the upside. I think Zabak's your other option. And he should get a much better time up on speed than he got last start. But Zafod from that draw should just get the gun trail. And with the upside, I've got to lean his way fairly strongly actually. So Zafod to beat Zabak.
Ella?
Red Wave, I think.
You're giving him Red Wave one more chance.
I'm going to give one more chance. I can't just go past the name with red in the title. And, I'm going to stick with it. It's done me well over the past few weeks, sticking with horses. So
you're loyal to the Sears stable. If it's not Yellow Brick, it's Red Wave.
They just choose great names. And you know me, I tip by name. So I'm going to stick with Red Wave.
Well, the good thing with Red Wave is you're going to get a big price. And if he ever found some of his form from 18 months ago, he could definitely win this race. I think I went with him in the Ipswich Cup last year at big odds, and he got binned for life after that. And he's yet to even show any reason to come out of the bin. But at 50 to 1,
I'm loyal.
At 50 to 1 in a Stayers race, cannot knock.
The stables had a
doing there,
pretty good Magic Millions Carnival. Thought Tora Bella, if she could run 2,000, has raced with no luck and finally draws a gate. Lightweight, 53 kilos. Emily Ling could run well, but I think the top two are the two horses to beat, Sabak and Safod. Speaking of stables having a good run, 7 out of the 8 winners at Ipswich yesterday were prepared by Gold Coast or Bow Desert trainers. So they had a clean-up yesterday at Ipswich. A couple of Quinellas in there as well. And the race that they didn't win, they run second in. Behind one of Desley. So the trainers are doing well here at the Gold Coast. So anything else on the card that you like?
I like a first starter in the 4th, a horse called By the Way for Richard Lamming. Jaden Lloyd has been trialling up really strongly. A bit of early money around for her as well. And she's in race 4, number 8, By the Way. I think she'll be winning. There's not a lot else in that field that I'm worried about.
Well, thank you all for an incredible carnival. Get on track tomorrow night to the Tab Gold Market night. It'll be an incredible...
Are we taking next week off?
We'll have to ask our producer. You'll either see us next week or you won't, and we'll be back first week of Feb. Thanks, guys.